Good morning, Facebook family. Thank you for joining me and yet another episode of Tea and Talk with Hermie. This will not go as I planned. All week, I plan to start today talking about women in history. That was my plan. That was my plan. My plan was to say, you know what? It's March, it's the beginning of March, and that's how I want to bring in March, talking about women in history. But it did not go that way because what I was going to talk about, once I read today's scripture for what is so near and dear to my heart, I did not have it in my heart to talk about Women's History Month. I didn't. It wasn't in my heart. And then I said to myself, well, I have to go on. So I'm not prepared. What do I do? I said, you know what? That is my to go scripture. So I shall go on. Even if I stay on for 5 minutes, I have to come on because I'm telling you, when we trust God, when we put our trust in God, and when we believe in Him, everything is possible. Everything and anything is possible when we trust God. So, Facebook family, bear with me today, but it's going to be sweet, it's going to be bumpy, it's going to be wonderful, but I'm here. I am here. And while I'm here, I would like to put out my StreamYard link. So if anyone wants to chime in, they can. If they don't want to chime in the StreamYard, they can chime in the comment section. But I welcome you to the link that I am going to put on my page right now in this link that we got going on. I have goosebumps still. I'm still experiencing goosebumps. Oh, buenos dias. Yeah, I'm picking up Spanish. Yes. So this is the link that if you want to chime in with me this morning, because like I said, this is halfway script, halfway. Because what I did is when I realized that, guess what? What I plan to do is not what I'm going to do. So let's see if I survive my 30 minutes. So let's get to know Hermie. The link is on. So now let's get to know me. Let's get to know Hermie. What do you want to know about Hermie today? Oh my goodness. So in getting to know me, I purchased a moped. And the reason why I purchased the moped was because I could never get the idea in my head to clutch with my hands and shift the gear with my foot on a motorbike. You just couldn't connect. Okay, clutch with your hand and use your feet to change the gear. I tried. I tried, but I just nerves just got the better for me. I'm being blatantly honest here. Just the nerve of falling off, not being able to change the gears. I say, you know what? I'm going to stick with moped. So I love a moped. And the thing about it is, when I was in Fort Bliss, I had one of the NCOs ride the moped for me. Imagine that. He was about 6 feet tall and riding my moped on post because I had to take a class. You have to get a class to ride on post. And guess what? I failed 3 times. And he failed me because I stopped too quick and I didn't do the figure eight in the perfect box. And the third one was there is a line that you had to make sure you stayed on, and I didn't stay on. So they failed me. I said, you know what? Thank you very much. At least I do know how to ride a moped, but according to Fort Bliss, that I wasn't able to ride on post because I did not pass my class. So that's one thing about me. The second thing about me is before I was even a gleam in my parents' eyes, it was like, wow. My grandfather was rocking my brother Jeremy, who is 3 years older than me. And he told my mom that the next one is going to be a girl, and she's going to be riding the storm. And I'm telling you, that's me. I have, I am over 50, under 60, and I have ridden a lot of storms. And in each of my storms, I got through it. I got through my storms. So when I think of what my grandfather told my mom that I was going to ride the storm, I'm just elated, and I'm so happy that his prophecy came to part. And the last thing about me is, yes, I'm a cat person. I am a cat person. I love cats. I had 2 cats in my lifetime, 2 snowballs, because I love them white. I will not own, if the cat is not all white, I won't own the cat. I'm being honest here right now. So if somebody got to gift me a kitten, it got to be all white with pink paws and pink nose. My son told me this. He said, Mom, you can't have one anymore. You got to have 2. And the perfect name, Snowball and Snowflake. So if ever I get my 2 white kittens, it will be Snowball and Snowflake. So that's the 3 things about me today. I rather ride a moped than ride a motorcycle. I love cats. And before I was even the gleam in my parents' eyes, my grandfather knew that I would ride the storms. And I'm telling you, that's what I'm doing. I'm riding the storms. Okay. In last 2 weeks ago, I got a lot of DM of what I talked about in regards to the color of the urine. So yes, so we definitely have to pay attention to our urine color, because it will guide us on how our body is doing, hydrated, dehydrated. And do keep in mind, whatever you eat, medication, whatever, will change the color of your urine. So just be mindful and staying hydrated. If you know you're an active person, just drink more, because you sweat it, you're going to sweat it out. So active person, just drink more. My wonderful and trusted disclaimer: I am nobody's doctor, nobody's shrink, nobody's anything. I'm just Hermie, mom, small grandma, no longer Master Sergeant Bell. Yeah. But, I still am Island Girl. So that's it. Whatever I talk about today is my life experience and what I research. And I'm telling you, this was not planned today. This was not planned today at all. When I woke up this morning and I read my daily scripture, and I'm not going to say it from memory because I don't want to miss one single solitary word. I want to read it right straight from the Bible. When I got up this morning, I was like, wow, because I know, being Christians, we have scripture verses that is our to go. When we're going through something, that's our verse. That's our verse that we run to. We run to it. So here is the scripture verse that I read this morning, coming from Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thy own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he will direct thy path. Like I said, this was not the topic today. Okay, the topic today that I did all my homework for was talking about women in history. But today we're going to talk about adapting to change. Because when you make your plans, when you so heartedly, when you with all your heart and might, you made your plans, you dot your I's and you cross your T, and oops, you meet a bump in the road. You meet that bump. What do you do? What do you do? What do you do when you got it all figured out? That's what I'm going to do. Yes, I'm clocking. I'm on point. But then, oops, there's a bump. There's an obstacle. What do you do? And I know me personally, I had a lot of bumps in the road. And when I think back of what my mom said to me about, riding storms, hey, I'm telling you, I have ridden a few storms, and I'm here to talk about it. I'm here to live it and be glorified in it. And don't let it define me. Please, my storms made me stronger. My storms got me on my feet. You know, this morning when Griff was talking about children's story, I had to chime in the Three Little Pigs because this is the story that my dad told me over and over and over. Reading it to me, talking about it, because those Three Little Pigs is a story that really teach you about foundation. It really does. When it comes to which house do you want to build, the straw, the twigs, or the brick. So when it comes to your plans, and it just go bumps in the road, we just got to figure, what we're going to do. So that scripture verse is just awesome to know that whatever you plan, don't sweat it. God got you. It's gonna take into fruition. It's gonna. So it's about being patient. I'm not a stroller on Facebook. I'm not. But when I open Facebook, for some reason, as soon as I open it, what's there grabs me. And I'm telling you, when I open my Facebook page and this mime was there, it just pulled me in. It pulled me in so much that I had to put in the comment section, I will put this on my page. This will go on my page. And it's so fitting now. It fits into what I'm going to talk about now that I wasn't prepared for. But yet for me putting it on my page, I didn't have to go searching for it to find it. I'm telling you, trust God. Trust God. So I'm telling you, I'm going to talk about boundaries now. Now, you all know that I am a very person who always like the acronym and what a letter means. That is near and dear to my heart. So when I saw it, I think that's what attracted me first, that they use the boundary, each letter of the BOUNDY to say, you know what? Wow, that is amazing. So boundaries. So when it comes to the B, I want you all to listen. Okay, so just listen for it. Be aware. That's the B. Be aware. Be aware that when some things happen to your plan, you know how to act. So be on guard. So be aware of what is unacceptable. So the O of what is unacceptable. Each of us have to know what we are willing to accept and not accept. If you are in a relationship with someone and you know what is being given to you, are you willing to say, you know what, I'll accept this, I'm not going to accept that? So be aware of what is unacceptable and normalizing saying no. Normalizing saying no. Saying no is not a death sentence. Saying no, for me, is not a prerequisite to a yes. Once I tell you no, don't even talk about it no more. Don't even come back with another no. Once I make up my mind and I says no, if I say I can't, then that's different. There's a possibility that I can't is going to turn into a yes, or maybe. But once NO comes out this mouth, that's it. No is no is no. So you got it. Be aware of what unacceptable or normalized say no. Now the D, do what is best for you. Do what is best for you. Hey, it is your life. It is your life. It is your world. So whatever is best for you, you do it for you. If it's not for best for you, leave it alone. Walk away. Say, you know what? No, no, it's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. And know that is not your responsibility. I love this one. I love this one. It is not your responsibility. I just love this one because it's not. Your only responsibility is taking care of yourself. It's not worrying about the other person. Okay? So, boundary. BOUNDARY. Be aware of what is unacceptable and normalize saying no. Do what is best for you and know what is not your responsibility to sacrifice yourself for others. Sacrificing yourself for others? Hello, knock, knock. Now, so I'm telling you, this was all planned by the good God because, like I said, when I opened my Facebook page, that was right there, boundary. And talking about it today, now, we adapting to change, it really joins in that when you have to adapt to a change, it really chimes in. I know, I know how many times you have to adapt to a change because, like I said, I have adapted to so even the simple thing as doing a PCS move, you know. Yeah, I'm talking military now. It's so good to say PCS, permanent change of station, PCS. Even that, even that change right there, even though making that change from one station to a next, you have to adapt to it. You know, when I went from Fort Polk to Korea, it was like, oh my God, oh my goodness, what did y'all put me in? Oh my God. And I got there in the winter. Oh God, you put an island girl, you put an island girl in dead of winter, in dead winter. That's where you put me. That's adapting. I had to adapt real quick. I had to adapt real quick. You know, I had to learn how to dress. You know, I had to learn how to wear stuff in layers. I had to learn, especially about the heat. See, that's when I learned you don't defrost too quick. You take your time and let yourself cool, warm down. So adapting, excuse me, adapting to change is an individual responsibility. It's your change. No one can tell you how to go through it. People can advise you how to go through it. But the bottom line, it's you that have to go through it. When I went through my change, I had to talk. I had to talk about it. I had to vent. I had to vent, talk, vent, laugh, you know, because it's like, oh my goodness. Sometimes when I make a joke of something that is mundane and serious, it helps me to cope. It's not that I'm not avoiding the situation. I'm just learning how to cope with it, how to understand what I'm going through. So when I talk about it and when I laugh about it, it gives me a sense of, you know what, Hermie? It is not that bad. You know, it's cold. It's cold. But guess what? I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm alive to learn how to deal with this cold. So that's how I looked at it in the end. I said, you know what? I just have to learn how to live with this cold weather. Just wear stuff in layers and going in the heat. I know how not to be so close to the heat so I don't get overheated. And then it goes back to your values. With everything else, everything is based on your values. You know, what you was brought up in the household with. Even the three little pigs, that story, that three little pigs learning that guess what? Anything that has to stand on a strong foundation. It has to be a foundation that you can't break it. And if that foundation cracks, then what do? We look for the crack and we try to figure out how to fix that crack. Okay? Because a lot of foundation, you see the cracks, and that's human life. That's being a human being. that when we get the cracks, we learn how to cope and how to deal with it and how to rise above it. And when we adapt to that crack, we learn, guess what? We are stronger than it was before the crack happened. I'm telling you, in my life, my cracks, fear, that knowing fear, that fear. And it goes back to me on that motorcycle, the fear of falling. On a motorcycle, guess what? There's nothing to shield you. When you fall down, guess what? You're down on the ground. So that fear, sometimes we have to really give it some focus. That fear. What is fear keeping us from getting ahead? Because that's what's happening. Because the fear is a holdback. The fear hinders. The fear do not let one be themselves. They become someone else that they're not happy with. Okay, that's me. I find fear just keeps me in like a bondage, like keeps me in bondage. What's knocking at your door today? What is knocking at your door that you sense that, you know what, I cannot get through this? This is not gonna happen. What is it? I often tell myself that because of my upbringing, I can survive anything. I get knocked down, but I get back up. I get to a point where there are one obstacle after another, one bump, one curve after another. And I want to tell myself, you know what, just turn around. Just turn around. Just leave that alone. But as long as what I'm headed towards is not going to hurt anyone, disappoint myself, I'm going full steam ahead. Adapting to change does not have to add to the problem of the change. It does no purpose to get upset that when you make a plan and the plan falls through, there is greater. There is a greater plan that you don't know about that's coming your way. When I plan to talk about Women's History Month this morning, I had no intention of seeing my scripture verse, the one that's near and dear to my heart, the one that guides and leads me every day of my life, to be today's scripture. So when I, Hermie, adapt to change, I embrace it. I embrace it. I said, you know what, God, thank you. Thank you. Because I know what I planned and fell through, there is something greater. There is something more profound. There is something more powerful that is waiting for me. And this is it. Because right now, today, I did not plan this. This is not scripture. This is not no notes. This is like, oh my goodness. So I am proud of myself today because I didn't rehearse. Because I usually like to look in the mirror and do a little rehearse. This was not rehearsed. And it's been 25 minutes and 25 seconds that I've been on. And I was telling myself that I was going to last 5 minutes. So I'm here to say that when something that you plan and meet a stumbling block, pay attention. Pay attention. Open thy eyes, get six eyes, whatever you have to do, because when that plan fall out, don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. Just, like I would say, pull back the layers and see what's really happening. What did I miss in this plan? Like when I said today with my plan for starting up with Women's History Month, I even missed something. I missed the mark because I said we'd March already. Because my guest, I even forget to remind my guests about it. I said, "Oh my God, I didn't remind my guests that I didn't remind my guests that hey, it's March." And I said, "Oops, look what happened." I didn't remind my guests, but I was still ready to come on. But guess what? God says no because you had planned for a guest and you didn't even tell your guests. So look, I got you. I got you. So God, I just want to thank you. I want to thank you because I am your faithful servant. I am your obedient servant. I am your patient servant. You know, saying that I'm a patient servant is like something that I would not even say many years ago. Me, patient? No, but patience, faithful, and obedient. When those three things, you know, when I was a soldier, you know, competence is my watchword. Competence is my watchword. But I'm telling you, me now, watchwords, patience, obedience, faithfulness, loving, giving, forgiving. Oh God, those are my watchword. Those are words that make my heart just want to know, you know what? When change come my way, I got it. When change happen, I'm going to excel. When change happen, I'm going to prevail. When change happen, watch out because I'm coming on. I am coming like a bulldozer. So when you adapt to change, don't let it adapt you. Okay? When you adapt to change, don't let it adapt you. Don't let it cripple you. Don't let it. And in closing, oh God, oh my God, this has been an awesome time here. I'm very happy. I am very happy. But in closing, I want to leave you with a question. Okay, I want to leave you with a question. I want to leave with your question. And the question that I want to leave you with, why is it so difficult to adapt to change? What is it that when a change happens, you tend to want to say, you know what? I'm not changing nothing. I'm going to stay right there where it's at. That change, no, nope. That change, nah, I'm not going with that change. No. You know, when I asked that question to myself, what was supposed to happen didn't happen. But if I had come on here by myself to start off Women's History Month, I felt in my heart I would have been not feeling so good because that was not my intent. And I'm a person, if I cannot follow through with what I planned and it got derailed, I have to find a way to come back better and stronger. And I do believe that how I did it this morning, coming back by myself, talking about something that out of the blue because of the scripture this morning, it's like, wow, I'm just here. But when you think about that question, what is it that's keeping you from adapting to change? If fear is your number one answer, oh my gosh, because I am telling you, fear is my number one answer. But once it happens, guess what? I deal with it. We are human. We are not robots. We are human. So when we get that emotion, when we get that negative emotion, what do we do with it? Because I, I'm gonna get it. I got fear. Who me? Fear? Yeah. What? I got something for fear. Power. I got courage. I got encouragement. I got motivation. I got determination. I got to prevail. So fear ain't got nothing on this system right here. Nothing. Okay, when fear happens to me, I got something for fear because it happens. It happens. I'm not going to walk this world and say I'm not fearful of nothing. You know what? That is well good. Oh, only fear God. But guess what? I'm human. When fear comes my way, that's how quick it's gone. Because I have blood running through these veins and I have emotion feelings. So I deal with fear that way. I will be fearful, but guess what? Not for long. Here I am. Here I am. Here I am. So, Facebook family, thank you for joining me on another episode of Tea and Talk with Hermie. Just adapt and be successful. Be successful and be great. Peace.